Hello, buddy. Welcome back to the Tin Man's Quarter channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and today I'm going to be reacting to another tale animated for you guys. And the video I'll be reacting to today is it's an older video, The Evolution of Jason Voorhees. So without further ado, I'm going to turn the camera over here for you guys again, and then we'll get this reaction on the road, shall we? Alright, here we go.
Films are known for horror icon Jason Voorhees. From misshapen boy to space monster, let's go through his progression. Jason first appears in part 1 as a bald, deformed child who drowned at Camp Crystal Lake. His mother later avenges his death, only to be killed herself. In part 2, Jason is alive somehow and seeking revenge for his mother.
To be honest with you, I'm not a huge fan of
Full grown
this look right here, even though this is the first live action version of Jason, well, beside the little boy Jason in part 1, but grown-up Jason in part 2. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that.
Conan wears a plaid shirt, overalls, and a one-eyed sack. Unmasked, his head appears lumpy with patchy long hair. Jason is bulkier in part 3 and acquires his iconic hockey mask and trades the overalls for blue pants and a green dress shirt. He also ditches his hair for a shaven look.
Now, this Jason I like, okay? So, I was glad when they decided not to go with the sack head mask again and go with a hockey mask this time.
And oddly shares little resemblance to himself in part 2. In the final chapter, Jason's clothes noticeably have more wear and tear, and his face looks much more deformed. He's sliced to death by his own machete and presumed dead.
Yeah.
Jason, in the new beginning, is...
Now, to be fair, I like what they were trying to do with part 5. They were trying to make it to where it was like a copycat killer running around and Jason's dead, you know. And I didn't mind Roy's character at all. But you could tell he's not Jason because he's got the blue chevrons on his face while Jason's got the red on the forehead and the face of the hockey mask. So, and he's wearing coveralls. But, hey, they thought it was Jason until later on in the end of the film. Spoiler alert, but anyway.
Revealed to be a copycat killer, so let's move on. In part 6, Jason lives. Jason is brought back to life when lightning hits his corpse. While zombified,
I do like this one now. Let's see when
he dons the same attire, but with additional gloves.
Yeah, I loved it when he had added on the machete belt, and he came with an extra Bowie knife and got some yellow gloves. I mean, I liked how this looked, basically. Be like, this is how Jason looks like when he came back to life as a zombie. I kind of like this era of Jason, be like, you know, zombie Jason instead of the deformed boy version.
In the climax, he is chained to the bottom of Crystal Lake. In part 7, The New Blood, Jason is let loose by a girl with psychic powers, and now sports a chain
I also dig this look as well.
around his neck and clothing that is even more tattered, revealing bone underneath. His mask is broken and reveals an extremely rotten face. But once again, to stop his rampage, he's sent to the bottom of the lake. Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, has Jason awoken by electric shock and finds a new mask. He now seems perpetually wet.
This movie didn't make no sense to me anyway. Like towards the end, spoiler alert, that he gets turned to toxic slush or whatever.
He hops a boat to New York and once there is melted away by toxic sludge. But don't worry, and Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday,
yeah,
Jason is alive. Again, his mask is now embedded to his face with a wisp of...
Yeah, now he looks more like a regular human instead of zombified. I'm like, what are they trying to do?
hair falling out. Within the first 10 minutes, he's blown up and presumed dead. But the film carries on as his ghost possesses other people. He eventually resurrects himself, but is soon stabbed by a magic dagger and dragged into hell. Jason is risen by Freddy Krueger for their crossover, Freddy vs. Jason. His mask is no longer embedded, his skin appears leathery, and is game-like. He's also sporting a new brown coat.
I love this movie right here. I said Jason got the upper advantage over Freddy because Freddy's only got the glove hand, and he could just take that machete and go whoosh, cut it right off him when he wanted to.
Jason X shows Jason back to his normal height and flesh-colored skin, and his face here is lumpy. He's cryogenically frozen and let loose on a spaceship, and later rebuilt with nano...
I love this version too. I said, oh...
technology, which...
the first character that be turned into a robot from a slasher genre, but I digged how he looked. Robo Jason or Uber Jason. I wish they could have found a way to continue on the movies with this Jason, but they did it in the graphic novels. But anyway, let's continue.
Gives him a shiny new mask and bodysuit. With nowhere left to go, the Jason series was rebooted with a more classic look.
This one's alright. I actually dig this one too. He's one of my favorite Jasons as well.
Look in 2009, leaving Uber Jason in space.
Okay, guys, that was my reaction to the evolution of Jason Voorhees, animated by Teleanimated. Now, I heard that they were making a Friday the 13th series, another one. Basically, like every season will be a lead up to the events of the movies. And they said if they did a 10th season, they'll go back in space. I can't wait for that. But I don't know if I'll watch it unless it comes out on DVD. I hope they do more Friday the 13th solo movies in theaters. But is that going to happen? Probably not. But I said by then he had to update this list or ranking evolution, basically. So that's going to be it for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications for more Teleanimated content like this. This has been another successful installment of the Tin Man's Corner channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor. And I say that's a wrap, and have a nice day, everybody.